And welcome to a brand new episode of Hashtag The Road. I am here in New Orleans, Louisiana. Guy Hutchinson is back there eating hot sauce, and we're here outside the NOLA house, one of the most haunted houses in the entire country. My name is Milo Beasley. With 20 plus years in the professional wrestling industry, combined with my love for traveling, I've seen some pretty cool things over the years. Now I bring you along in these travels, as I never know where I'll end up or what I'll see or do along the way. With more than 4 million miles of roadways in the United States alone, we have a lot of ground to cover. So join me, if you will, on Hashtag The Road. We're in New Orleans for GalaxyCon, NOLA, and we're looking for some cotton candy. And so let me expand on that a little bit. Cotton candy wasn't invented here in New Orleans, but maybe we should move out away from this house. Let's move on for a second. That's right. Cotton candy was created right here in New Orleans, not here. So here's the thing. So cotton candy wasn't invented in New Orleans, but it was created in New Orleans. So Milo, what do you mean that it was not invented, but it was created here? Okay, so crazy story. Going back to the 1800s, 1897, a dentist by the name of William Morrison in Tennessee gets together with a candy maker named John C. Wharton. Not sure if he's related to John C. Riley, but John C. Wharton, candy maker in Tennessee, William Morrison, a dentist in Tennessee. So they get together to create this new candy that is basically, they've invented a machine that spun heated sugar. Then went through a screen, and then it came out all fluffy, and well, you know what cotton candy looks like. And being a dentist, William Morrison gave this candy to his clients. First off, that's a sound strategy if you are a dentist. So they invented this machine. They started working on this machine in 1897. I said, right. Then at the 1904 World's Fair, at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. By the way, St. Louis World's Fair, also known as the Louisiana Purchase Exposition here. Now, the Louisiana Purchase Exposition wasn't actually held in Louisiana, held in St. Louis, Missouri. Anyway, so, but it's not known as cotton candy, it's known as fairy floss. So, fairy floss becomes a huge hit in 1904 at the World's Fair. And then so on in the early 1900s, 1910s, 1920s. However, it was about this time that the patent on William Morrison's machine, sorry, just making sure I'm not getting run over here. The patent on William Morrison's machine expires, allowing other entrepreneurs to dive into the world of heated spun sugar. Well, what did you know it? Another dentist, this time by the name of Joseph Lascaux. Lascaux, Lascaux, you guessed it, right here, was a dentist right here in New Orleans. NOLA? Does anybody here call it NOLA, by the way? Where was I? Oh, so this other dentist is like, I want to do that for my clients too, because again, it seems like the world's best business model to give candy as a prize to kids at a dentist office. So, in 1921, Joseph Lascaux creates his brand new machine but in an effort to differentiate between fairy floss and his new invention, he was like, man, what do I call this thing? Well, this candy kind of looks, try not to get run over, sorry. This candy kind of looks like cotton. So I'm gonna call mine cotton candy. So fairy floss, the original candy, created, manufactured, invented in Tennessee. But cotton candy as we know it was invented here in New Orleans at Caesar's Palace. It probably wasn't invented at Caesar's Palace, but no, cotton candy as we know it today. And so as soon as Joseph Lescaut creates his new machine, calls it cotton candy, goes out, divvies it out to the world, all of a sudden everyone's like, yo, I love that cotton candy. People are like, well, what about fairy floss? And people were like, what? What's fairy floss? So, after 1921, at the mid-1920s, and after that, it pretty much gets known as cotton candy, which is pretty much known as cotton candy everywhere in the world except for Australia, which still calls it fairy floss. I don't know if it was called fairy floss, if it would still be as successful. Maybe it would. Maybe it might have gone through some other name changes, perhaps. But cotton candy it describes it to a T, right? Like it's cotton candy. So, I mean, I guess that's about it. We're gonna keep walking. But yeah. Fairy floss, invented in Tennessee. Cotton candy, invented right here in New Orleans. By the way, you can call yourself a candy factory all you want, but none of these places, I've yet to actually find any cotton candy here in New Orleans. So thanks for watching another, of course, this is where we ended up. Thank you for watching another episode of Hashtag The Road. Do all the likes and follows and press all the buttons and tell your friends, and we're literally on the road. Bye.